Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is not necessary. In this video, we are going to see the conditional statements. So basically in Python, there are four conditional statements are available. So one is if else, elif and nested if else. So now let me see one by one the conditional statements. Okay, so let me start with if. So basically when this if will be writing is if the condition is true, then like we'll be writing if. Let me take an example for this. Let a is equal to 5. Okay, a is equal to 5. So now if a is greater than or equal to, if a is greater than or equal to 0, then we'll say that, like we'll be printing that it's a positive number. Sorry, it's a positive number. Okay, only that's all. Like only if the it's true, then like we'll be printing it's a positive number. Okay, which is nothing but if statement. Okay, like we'll be getting it's a positive number. For suppose if we get if it's not a positive number, then at that particular time we'll be taking if else. Okay, let me take the same example. Now I'll be printing that the same if a is equal to 5. If a is greater than or equal to 0, we'll be printing positive number. Else we print that it's a negative number. So you guys can see it will be printing output as a positive number. If it's less than 1, less than 0, minus 1, we can see that it's a negative number. Okay, you guys understood like if and if else. Okay, now let me explain about elif. Basically what is this elif is, here the same like will be using same as the above if and else, but here will be one more thing we'll be using as elif will be using the condition. For if we'll be using like we have used condition, but else we don't have any conditions to write. But in elif like we'll be using condition here. Let me give an example so that you'll be understand very clear. Now let me take an example. A is equal to 10, okay, and b is equal to 20. If a is greater than b, okay, if a is greater than b, we'll be printing that a is greater than b. A is greater than b. Okay, a is greater than b. elif a is less than b, print, I have to print that a is smaller than b. Okay, else we can print that both are equal. Okay, let me execute this and I will explain one by one. Okay, now a is 10 and b is 20. If a is greater than b, now a is 10 and b is 20. If 10 is greater than 20, then we have to print a is greater than b. Okay, for suppose 10 is less than 20, we have to print a is smaller than b, else both are equal. So now 10 is lesser than 20, so a is smaller than b. We are getting a is smaller than b. Okay, for suppose like if I write here as 40, Now we can expect that A is greater than B because 40 is greater than 20. Now like both are equal. Let me get the both are equal. See, both are equal. So we are getting these two conditions are not satisfying. The remaining condition is this. Both are equal else. Okay. So for this purpose, like for this adding of condition, we'll be using elif. Okay. Nested if else. Basically this nested if else is also same as if else, but we'll be writing if else inside the if else. So let me give an example so that you guys can understand very clear. Okay, now a is equal to, I'll be providing as 5, b is equal to 4, c is equal to 3. Okay, now if a is greater than b, okay, if a is greater than b, then again if this condition satisfies, okay, if this condition is true, then again I will print that if a is greater than c. Okay, now I will be printing a is big, a is bigger. Now if a is greater than b, again if this condition is true, then again I will check that if a is greater than c. If this condition is also true, then in the output I will be getting a is bigger. Else I'll be getting the output as c is bigger. Okay, c is bigger. Now the one more statement, else if b is greater than c. Okay, so if this condition is false, then it will go for else, and it will check if b is greater than c, then it will print as b is bigger. Okay, b is bigger. If that condition is also will be getting false, then in the final I'll be printing as c is bigger. So let me explain once again this. So the output for this, let me first explain, then let me print the output. Okay, so I have taken three variables with the values: a is equal to 5, b is equal to 4, c is equal to 3. Okay, if a is greater than b, means if 5 is greater than b, I'll be entering inside this if loop. Okay, if again 5 is greater than c, 5 is greater than 3, I'll be printing a is bigger. If 5 is greater than is not 3, then I'll be printing c is bigger. Okay, if this condition is false, if the entire condition, if I get false, I won't enter inside this. Okay, I will enter in else statement. Okay, in the else I will check if 4 is greater than 3, I will print b is bigger, else I will be printing c is bigger. So for this output, what I will be getting is, so now a is 5 and b is 4. So yeah, 5 is greater than b. So this condition is true. Then I'll be going inside this. So now a is 5 and c is 3. Yes, this condition also true. Then I will be printing a is bigger. Let me see the output. Yeah, you guys can see here a is bigger. So this is how like we'll be writing nested if else. So here if, okay, if inside inside that we'll be writing if else, and else inside that we'll be writing if else. So this is how nested if else. Inside the if else we'll be writing again if else. Okay, yeah. So that's all like about these conditional statements.